students, today we are going to continue the previous chapter, that is human health and disease. So quickly we'll revise the yesterday's slides, that is chapter 8, that is human health and disease. Next, what is the introduction about this chapter, then who are the scientists who contributed to the medical line, such as father of medicine, father of surgery, then father of Ayurveda, then father of modern pathology, then father of immunity or immunology, father of blood grouping, then father of modern bacteriology. Clear? So in the next slide, what are antibiotics? As you know that examples of antibiotics, then what mean by antiseptics and disinfectants, then what is the main difference between antiseptic and disinfectant? As you know that antiseptics, it is an agent which can be kill or inhibit the microbes which are present on the surface of living surface, and this one same action, but it is going to kill the microbes which are present on the inanimate or non-living surfaces. Clear? So last one, sterilization. As you know that what mean by sterilization? Very simple. It is like it is going to kill or it is going to inhibit the microorganism, that is completely 100%. Clear? So then the statement or the definition of biology health according to biology, then good humor hypothesis. As I told you people, humor refers to body fluids. As you know that blood is a body fluid, lymph is a body fluid. Likewise, we will be having some different body fluids like black bile, one more, that is the body fluid which is secreted by the kidney and spleen. Clear? And this hypothesis was disproved by William Harvey, as well as he also disproved the good humor hypothesis. Clear? So at the same time, what is the actual definition which is given by WHO, that is World Health Organization? It is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being and not merely an absence of disease. Clear? So this is what the actual definition which is given by the WHO. Then what are the factors which affect the health? Clear? So as you know that genetic disorders which includes defects and deficiencies, and both are present from the birth. Clear? So next, infection which is caused by some pathogens or microorganisms. The same time a lifestyle. So what kind of lifestyle we have, based on that it may affect our health. And last one is habits. So what kind of habits, it may be good or it may be bad. So those bad habits definitely, directly or indirectly, they may adverse the health. Clear? So next, how we are going to understand I am diseased. Clear? So there is one point. Next, disease. The definition of the disease, that is any change from the normal state that causes discomfort or disability or impairs the health is simply considered as disease. Clear? Or one more definition, that is the malfunctioning of the body organ or organ system with the specific symptoms. The word specific symptoms refers to some specific disease has specific symptoms. Clear? Say for example cold. So if you are suffering from cold means definitely there are some strict or specific symptoms like a running nose, watery eyes, clear? Then headache. There are some specific symptoms are there. So next, how can we maintain good health? Isn't it? So again there are some factors which includes balanced diet. As I told you people, balanced diet means the whatever food we are eating, so it must contain appropriate amount of carbohydrate, protein, lipids, isn't it? So vitamins, etc. Next, personal hygiene, also called as self-hygiene. Clear? So next, regular exercise, most important point, because so every day we must provide a regular exercise or yoga or rest to our body. Clear? Next, immunization, and one more very important word is vaccination or vaccine, isn't it? So that vaccine, as I told you people, what mean by immunization or vaccine? So simple word, vaccine or the immunization is a drug or the chemical which is given to a normal person to prevent the disease in future. Clear? So next, proper disposal of waste. As I told you people, Then control of vectors, that is mosquitoes which are responsible for transmitting the disease from infected person to healthy person is considered as vectors. Then maintenance of hygienic food and water, because as I told you yesterday, most of the diseases which are transmitting that through either food or water. So for that reason, these two must be careful. Next, what are the importance of health? Why we need to maintain good health? Clear? As I told you, people with a good health, definitely it can increase their efficiency at their work. Clear? So if they are more efficient at their work, definitely it can increase the productivity and economic prosperity. Clear? So next, health also increases the longevity, refers to a lifespan. The word lifespan refers to, as we discussed in first chapter, that is the period between the birth to natural death, isn't it? So the person with a good health definitely can increase the longevity or lifespan. And last one is health reduces the infant and mortality rate, that is infant and maternal mortality rate. As I told you, that is infant refers to the neonatal baby or newly born baby, and maternal refers to mother. So that if they are maintaining good health, definitely it can reduce or decrease the baby and mother death rate. I hope you understand. Clear? Today we are going to discuss the next slides or the continuation part of this chapter, that is very important, disease causing agents. It means that what are the factors or what are the agents which are going to cause a disease to the individuals. Clear? So the most important thing, those agents are, first one, biological agents. Clear? Many are there. In this we are going to start with the first one, that is biological agents. Then what mean by biological agents? We'll go through this. So it includes viruses, rickettsia, helminths, bacteria, clear, etc. So fungus, etc. Many are there. So these all, isn't it? So these all microorganisms are going to cause disease to the individuals. See, what I'm trying to tell you is that you can see the word viruses, rickettsia, bacteria, fungus, protozoans, helminths, so and other models. These all group of microorganisms or the organisms are going to cause disease to the human beings. So, and most important thing to understand is these all are living things. Clear? Hence they are considered as biological agents. Those agents which are going to cause disease to the human beings and which are living one, they are called as biological agents. Clear? So what I mean that these all living organisms which are going to cause disease, so called as biological agents. Clear? Second one, the biological agents are pathogens. The word pathogens, see, in Greek language, pathos refers to disease. Pathos refers to disease and genes refers to producing. It means that those microorganisms, no doubt, those microorganisms which are going to cause disease to the human beings, they are called as pathogens. That is patho, disease, genes producing. So disease producing or disease causing microorganisms are called as pathogens. Once again write down. So disease causing microorganisms are called as pathogens. So which includes viruses, bacteria, rickets, helminths, so on. Clear? Next, second one, nutrient agents. Clear? So what are those nutrients agents which are going to cause disease to the human beings? Clear? So which includes, these comprise food components such as carbohydrates, fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins and water. Clear? See, if you are going to eat carbohydrate in an appropriate amount, we can call it as a diet. Clear? No problem. So the amount of carbohydrate is more than the normal or below the normal level, definitely it is going to harm the body in terms of disease. I hope you understand. So we can take fat, clear, which can cause obesity, then proteins, clear, it is going to cause many diseases. It may be hair fall, isn't it? So many diseases are going to cause by the deficiency or overeating of proteins. Clear? Next, minerals, as you know that. So, and vitamins, many are there. Clear? So these vitamins above the normal level or below the normal level, definitely it is going to cause disease to the human beings. The word disease refers to, these all are going to cause, all refers to either they are above the normal level or below the normal level. They are going to cause discomfort within the body. That discomfort refers to disease. I hope you understand. Clear? Next, as well as water. So which includes which are present in the nutrient agent. So these all agents above the normal level or below the normal level, we'll call it as deficiencies, isn't it? So excess or deficiencies cause disease. Next, mechanical agents. Clear? So those mechanical agents are going to cause disease to the human beings. So those are which comprise the chronic friction or other mechanical forces which result in the injury, clear, during accident, whatever it may be, sprain, dislocation of arm or bones, next fractures, clear. So these all come under mechanical agents, clear. So strictly we should not use the word disease, clear. So here the word, I mean it may be fracture or it may be sprain or dislocation, whatever it may be. So these all are going to cause some disability or discomfort, or we can call it as one more word, impairs the body or body health or normal body physiology. So simply called as disease. I hope you understand. Clear? Next, one more, chemical agents. So what are those chemical agents which are going to cause discomfort or disability or impairs the health? Simply called as a disease. What kind of disease are going to cause by the chemical agents? Clear? So in this, these are further of two types. Clear? So one thing we have to remember, those some of the chemicals are going to cause disease to the human beings, isn't it? So in that again there are two types. So what kind of chemicals we are going to take based on that two types? So one is endogenous chemicals and one more is exogenous chemicals. Clear? We'll go through this one. So that is endogenous chemicals. So name itself indicating the meaning. Endogenous means those agents or the chemicals which are formed inside the body or within the body itself. Clear? And includes hormones, enzymes, urea, uric acid. So these all are going to cause disease to the human body. Clear? So, and more important thing to understand is these endogenous chemicals which are going to produce within the body or inside the body, hence they are called as endogenous chemicals. I hope you understand. Next, exogenous chemicals. So same, endogenous means those chemicals which are going to produce within the body. Meanwhile, exogenous means those chemicals which are going to take it by from outside. Simply called as exogenous chemicals. See, agents enter the body from outside, or the chemical which is we are going to take it by outside is called as exogenous chemicals. So it may be by inhalation, ingestion or inoculation, etc. The word inhalation refers to, are going to take it by breathing, through breathing, ingestion by eating, inoculation by means of injection. Do remember the word inoculation refers to by means of introduction, or a better word is injection, or you can call it as, the better word is by means of administration. Better word is administration of some injections or some chemicals. It is called as exogenous chemicals. Next, which includes pollutants like fumes, gases, dust, metals, etc. and also allergens. Some examples are spores and pollen grains are such examples for exogenous chemicals. Do remember. Clear? Again, once again, chemical agents. So what are the chemical agents which are going to cause disease to the human body? So again, there are two types of chemicals. One is endogenous chemicals and exogenous chemicals. A very simple difference between the endogenous and exogenous is endogenous, that is endogenous refers to those chemicals which are going to produce within the body. Exogenous which are going to produce, which are taking it by outside. Next, physical agents. So those physical agents which are going to cause disease to the human body, those physical agents are, which includes heat, that is more heat or temperature, cold, next humidity, as you know that, pressure, radiation, electricity, and sound. So sound impairs our eardrum or tympanic membrane. So these all includes, these all physical agents are going to discomfort or impairs our health, simply called as disease. I hope you understand. Clear? Next, types of diseases. What are the types of diseases are there? Clear? So very simple. The diseases may be broadly classified into two types. One is congenital disease and one more is acquired diseases. Very simple difference is disease, as you know that. Clear? So types of disease. Clear? So we are going to classify this broad category in the disease only based on when we are developing. When we are developing the disease. Clear? Congenital means these are the diseases which are present from the birth. Very simple. Congenital means these are the diseases which are present from the birth. They are called as congenital diseases or genetical disorders. Clear? Acquired diseases, the name itself indicating the meaning. Acquired means we are going to developing a disease after the birth. They are called as acquired diseases. Very simple definition. Once I am telling you people, congenital disease means those diseases we are developing from the birth and they are present from the birth. Clear? And acquired means we are going to develop it by after the birth. So this is the what? A simple definition. Next, congenital disease, also called as genetical disorders. So these are the anatomical or physiological abnormalities. So present from the birth. As I told you, so these are the what? Some kind of diseases which are present from the birth. So called as congenital diseases. Example, which are caused by single gene mutation. As you know that mutation means sudden change in the genetic material, sudden change in the sequence of DNA, sudden change in sequence of nucleotide bases. It's called as mutation. In that, single gene mutation. In our body, thousands of genes are there, isn't it? So in that, during birth, some of the genes are going to get mutated. So resulting in the alkaptonuria, phenylketonuria, albinism, sickle cell anemia, then hemophilia, color blindness. So these all are genetic disorders which are present in the baby from the birth or present in the birth. So they are called as single gene mutation. So don't try to understand. We'll discuss in the next class. Clear? Don't worry. Next, chromosomal aberrations. Chromosomal aberrations refers to a kind of arrangement of chromosomes. It's called as chromosomal aberrations. It may be duplication of chromosome, it may be deletion of chromosome, it may be extra addition of chromosome. They are simply called as chromosomal arrangement. Clear? So which includes Down syndrome, Klinefelter syndrome, Turner syndrome, Edwards syndrome, Pathogen syndrome, then one more Cray-Chart syndrome. Many are there. We'll discuss in the next slide. Next. Clear? First one, congenital disease. What we by this one? That is those anatomical or physiological abnormalities and they are present from the birth. Next, in this, two examples. One is single gene mutation and chromosomal aberrations. Clear? Next, second one is acquired diseases. Clear? So, acquired means, as I told you, those diseases we are going to develop it after the birth. See, they are further of two types. Acquired disease means they are going to develop it after the birth, and again they are going are of two types. First one is communicable and non-communicable diseases. Do remember. So they are also called as communicable diseases, also called as infectious diseases, also called as transmitting diseases, or also called as contagious diseases. And meanwhile, non-communicable diseases, also called as non-transmitting diseases, also called as non-contagious diseases, also called as non-infectious diseases. Clear? So we'll go by one. First one, communicable diseases, also called as infectious diseases. Clear? So very simple meaning. These diseases which are caused by the pathogens, mandatory word is caused by pathogens. I told you people what mean by pathogens. That is group of microorganisms which are going to cause disease to the human beings are called as pathogens. Pathos, disease, genes producing. So disease producing organisms are called as pathogens. So in case of communicable diseases or infectious diseases, the diseases which are caused by the pathogens, it may be virus and living organisms such as bacteria, fungus, helminthus, rickettsia, etc. Clear? So and are readily spread from infected person to the healthy person. Very important. So the word to be understand is those communicable diseases or infectious diseases which are ready to or easily transmit from patient to healthy person or infected person to healthy person. They are called as infectious or communicable or contagious or transmitting diseases. Very simple. So right now the live example is corona, isn't it? So if you are going to if you have direct communication with the infected person, means immediately it is going to cause. So simply called as infectious diseases. Means very simple word. Infectious diseases are the diseases which are ready to spread or easily transmit from a patient or infected person to healthy person, are called as communicable diseases. Say for example, common cold, typhoid, TB, that is tuberculosis, corona, etc. So these are all come under infectious or communicable diseases. And mode of transmission, how they are going to transmit, isn't it? So those communicable or infectious disease, how they are going to spread from infected person to healthy person, isn't it? So by means of direct and indirect transmissions. The diseases or pathogens are transmitted from a reservoir. The word reservoir refers to where they are actually present. It may be soil, it may be air, it may be water, it may be blood, it may be present on the body or present within the body, wherever it may be. And actually where they are present and where they are located, simply called as reservoir. Clear? So an infection to the healthy person in the following ways, that is direct or indirect. Clear? So the transmission, example, chickenpox, smallpox, syphilis, common cold, measles, mumps, tuberculosis, pneumonia, etc. So these all examples come under infectious diseases, that is in the mode of transmission. Clear? It may be direct or it may be indirect. Next, non-communicable or non-infectious or non-transmitting or non-contagious diseases. Clear? So again same meaning, the name itself indicating the meaning, that is those diseases which are easily transmitting from person to person or from infected person to healthy person. Meanwhile, in case of non-communicable or non-infectious diseases, these diseases which are confined to a particular person or they are confined to an individual, they never transmitting from that infected person to healthy person. They are simply called as non-infectious or non-contagious diseases. Do remember? Clear? I mean to say that opposite to this one. They are ready to spread from one person to other person and they are not ready to spread from one person to other person. So one best example is cancer, isn't it? So the person who is suffering from cancer, even though you are going to, you have a direct contact with that cancer infected person, you never ever get that cancer, isn't it? So it may be cancer, it may be diabetes, isn't it? It may be coronary artery disease, heart related diseases. They never ever transmit from one person to the other person. Hence they are called as non-communicable diseases or non-infectious diseases. I hope you understand. Clear? Opposite to this one. Next. Example, diabetes, inflammatory diseases of joints such as arthritis, gout, cardiovascular diseases and cancer, as we already learned in first year. Clear? Next. Some common diseases in human beings. Clear? So in your syllabus they have given some pathogenic diseases. It may be bacterial disease, viral disease, fungal disease, helminthic disease, then protozoan disease, then fungal disease, etc. Clear? So today we are going to discuss one by one. And most important, wide range of organisms like bacteria, fungus, virus, protozoans, helminthes, etc. cause a disease to the human beings. As we know, already discussed about this. Clear? Next. And very important, before entering into the actual thing, we are going to understand a very simple concept, that is when pathogens enter into a human being or within the body, what are the stages which are involved in, right from a day of entry to when you are going to start showing symptoms or appearance of symptoms. Clear? So first, when any pathogen enter into the body, first it is going to take shelter within the body. Most important word, take down, that is shelter. Shelter means it is going to take some part of the body. It may be an organ, it may be a tissue, it may be a cell, whatever it may be. So any organism or any pathogen when enter into the body, within the body, first it is going to take the shelter, that is lodging. Next, when it take appropriate or particular shelter within the body, then it starts undergoing rapid multiplication. Do understand this point. So when any pathogen entered into the body, it never ever cause disease. So before causing the disease, first it will take shelter. Once it got shelter means it starts random multiplication. It may be sexual or it may be asexual method, whatever it may be, but it is undergoing rapid multiplication. So once it attains maximum growth in the body, once it attains maximum number in the body, then only it is going to spread from one organ to the other organ or one place to other place through the blood circulation. Then it is going to cause disease. I hope you understand. See, when pathogens enter the body, first they take a shelter, then starts multiplying, then interfere the organ or organ system or tissue or whatever it may be, simply called as vital activities of the body. Vital refers to very important organs or very important activities or very important the functioning of the body. So it is going to interfere the normal or the vital activities of the body, then resulting in the damaging of that particular organ or organ system. Then you are going to start showing some kind of a particular or a specific symptoms. Then you will be having disease. Then one more. The sentence is pathogens must know or adapt themselves to survive within the environment of the host. Clear? So this way I am going to deal with this is we can take any organism when enter into my body. Clear? So being a human being, I have a very specific immune system, isn't it? So for that reason, any organism which is about to entering into my body, first of all, it should or it must know or must adapt themselves to survive within the body. Even though in presence of saliva in my body, even though in presence of a highly acidic HCl in my body, isn't it? And various digestive enzymes in my body, whatever it may be. So for that reason, so any pathogen must know or adapt themselves to survive within the body of host. Why? Isn't it? See the example. That is the pathogen that enter into my body, so it must know how to survive in the stomach at pH 1.8. As you know that 1.8 pH means it is highly acidic, isn't it? So no organism, not bacteria, not virus, no organism cannot survive in the pH of 1.8 pH. So even though the organism which is entering into my body, it must adapt themselves to survive in 1.8 pH, then only it is going to cause disease, otherwise no. Because so we can take any kind of organism, wide range of organism, when they enter into my body, first they are going to enter into the stomach. So within the stomach, our stomach is able to produce 1.8 pH. So that organism has to adapt itself to survive in 1.8 pH. Then it can spread all throughout the body. It is going to cause disease. I hope you understand. Meanwhile, we will be having various digestive enzymes. It may be proteolytic enzymes, lipolytic enzymes, carbohydrolytic enzymes, whatever it may be. So that pathogen is also made up of that protein, carbohydrate, whatever it may be, so that it has to adapt to prevent the digestion from these various digestive enzymes. I hope you understand. Clear? Next, some pathogenic organisms are discussed here along with their disease, mode of transmission, incubation period, symptoms, and how we are going to diagnose it, and treatment, preventive measures, etc. Clear this? So in this first one, bacterial diseases. In your syllabus they have given two. One is typhoid, second one is pneumonia. Clear? So these two diseases we'll discuss in the next class. I hope you understand today's class. Clear? Thank you very much.